Alrighty, what is going on, guys? It's Tazz here, and welcome back to the channel for another episode of the Legion Lounge Live. Now, as always, I am joined by my brother and co-host, Toxic Strike. What is going on, bro?
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
As well as we are joined by another member of the Toxic Legion, Toxic Crusader. How's it going on? How's it going on? How's it going, bro?
I'm doing good. All right, how you guys doing?
Oh man, so yeah, we're back for another episode of the Legion Lounge Live this week. We've got some Mando to talk about, as well as Disney had their big kind of investors meeting this past week as well, where a lot of Star Wars and Marvel stuff was announced, so we will be getting to all of that as well. And then if you guys stick around at the end, Toxic Strike might have a little bit of a review on Cyberpunk. He's been playing that quite a bit since its release, so we'll talk about that as well a little bit at the end. But before we get into anything, massive spoiler warning for the latest episode of The Mandalorian, Season 2, Episode 7, the penultimate episode. I love the word penultimate, but the penultimate episode, I will probably say that a bunch. Second to last episode of the season, Chapter 15, I want to say, right? Chapter 15? Called The Believer. So yeah, massive spoilers for that episode. If you guys have not watched it, go watch it. It's a really good one. Spoiler-free review just from me off the bat. It was really, really good. Just go watch it. Don't get it spoiled for yourself. But if you don't care about spoilers, or if you've watched the episode already, let's just talk about it, guys. Initial thoughts, what do you think?
Oh, you can go ahead, Crusader.
So overall thoughts on it?
Yeah.
So, Chapter 15, The Believer, I think per se it was not a filler. Well, there'd probably be a few other people that watched it that was saying it's a filler, but not really, because they needed the coordinates to go find Grogu and Moff Gideon's cruiser. But I liked it because it was, very action packed. There was a lot of little fight scenes, the chases and little thing in there with that the officer's mess confrontation, all that. But pretty good.
Yeah. I thought it was a really good episode as well. Strike, what do you think? And then I'll go a little bit more in depth.
I thought it was a pretty tense episode. I thought it was also more of like character development episode. And I think that's kind of why some people didn't really like it too much, and they're like, "Oh, there's nothing seriously going on here." But I mean, I feel like it was a big point, like a big turning point for Din's character, and also it kind of gave us a lot from Mayfeld's character as well.
More development on Mayfield.
Yeah, I think it was just more of like a character episode.
I do as well. I think it was kind of like a return to form episode, because the last couple of episodes were, I guess, the biggest outliers of the season. Like they were a little, I don't want to say out there and different from the rest of the season, but they didn't kind of follow that same formula, so they were, doing their own thing. We had the Ahsoka episode, then we had the big Boba Fett episode last week and everything. But this week kind of returned to form. We had a set mission, we had a crew, Mando did his thing, but we also got a lot more development for Din, as well as we brought back a character from last season with Mayfeld. We kind of got to see the bond, I guess you could say, that Din and Boba have developed over the last, however long it's been since
I think it's only been an episode.
no, I'm saying in universe time. I don't know how.
Oh yeah.
Because
it's probably only
some
been
time has passed, because Boba had some time to repaint his armor and everything, which looks dope, might I add. So I think that was really cool. But yeah, I think just initial overall thoughts, it was a great kind of back to basics, back to form episode that gave us a lot of good character development, lots of good character moments. And yeah, I think that's kind of my overall bit on it. But the episode starts off, we go grab Mayfeld. We have a funny scene with him going up to Slave 1, Boba comes down. Mayfeld's like, "Oh, I thought you were this other guy," and then Mando comes right out, behind him, and he's like, "Oh, Mando."
He's like, "Oh snap!
Oh snap!
Here we go again. We meet
It's
again."
a Mando. It's the Mando.
He was like, "Oh, so you're gonna kill me now?" But not really. He's like, "Nah, I need your help.
Nah, we got a job for you.
We got a job."
Yeah, no, and then, and then I love how when they get on Slave One, you get to see it like kind of like gyroscope or whatever.
Yeah, I think
inside
that was
of
actually
it.
pretty
Interior.
interesting.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was
never really knew
cool.
exactly how it used to work. I mean, a lot of people had ideas on how Slave One worked,
Yeah,
but up until this episode, we didn't really see it in action.
right.
So I think
like
it's
how
kinda
it really
small
functioned.
details.
Yeah,
But it's actually really big in there. I thought it was like really small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I was like, man.
yeah.
It was.
I mean,
yeah, no, it was.
I kind of
pretty
always thought that it was kind of big.
Yeah,
but like,
I'd always thought we'd never seen like the. I don't want to say it's like the cargo or the passenger area. I don't know what you would call it. Just like the main, not the cockpit of the.
Oh no, it's the
of
cargo
ship.
hold.
Yeah, okay, the cargo hold.
Put
Main
Solo in
deck.
the cargo hold.
Put Captain Solo in the cargo hold.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Cargo
no,
hold.
the area is pretty big in there, and I like because the ship is very different.
It kind of looks
lands
like, at least from the episode, it looks like if they like accidentally like fell, that they would just like fall in like a hole. Like,
yeah,
right
I don't.
them.
Yeah, like I'm not sure like the safety of that. Like they should probably have been like strapped in or something. I don't know, but I thought it was really cool. And then like I'm seeing all the memes and stuff going around. Like people are like, "Oh, how I thought Boba was in Slave One," and it's just like the guy like laying on the floor in his chair and everything, which I thought was great. But so the I don't want to say like a massive like character development moment because we've known this for a while, but it was just kind of like great to have it reaffirmed to us. So they're like, so Mayfeld's in there and he's like, "What's the mission?" basically, and it's like, Moff Gideon's got Baby Yoda, he's got Grogu, and then he's like, "The little green guy," and then Cara Dune's like, "Yeah, they took his son," and I'm like, Yep. Grogu is Mando's son.
That's what basically what would happen.
Don't mess with Din's son, Grogu.
Or they gonna catch some hands.
Yeah. So, also, the other thing that like I really loved was Mando was just like, "Hey, Fett, punch in the coordinates." It's just like you're just on like you're on that kind of name basis now with Boba Fett. Just, "Hey, Fett."
I mean, everybody just calls him Mando, don't they?
That's true. But
I
yeah,
don't think I've heard anybody actually say his name before.
yeah, like people have always just called him like, who, Din or Boba?
No, Din. I mean, like Din Djarin.
Oh yeah, nobody calls him nobody calls him Din Djarin except Moff Gideon did.
Yeah.
Speaking, yeah, we'll get to the Gideon thing later.
Yeah.
But okay, so we go to this Imperial base on this like tropical looking planet.
Morak.
No, I thought Morak
Morak.
was the mining facility.
No, that's the place.
That is okay.
Yeah, because that's where they got.
Yeah,
the,
because Mayfield was like.
Vibranium or
Okay,
whatever.
no, yeah, okay. So then wait, what was the planet called that they went to at the what was the planet that Mayfeld was on then? What was that called?
I know it was like a mining. It was not a mining thing. It was like a
Yeah, I don't know.
graveyard for
I
TIE
thought
fighters.
Yeah, it was an
It was a big-
interesting place.
Boneyard.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
a
it's
boneyard,
boneyard.
yeah.
It's boneyard. Yeah, we'll call it boneyard.
Yeah.
We'll call it boneyard. So yeah, they go to Morak. And they basically have to do this heist. They've got to get into the Imperial facility somehow, slice the computer terminal, and get the coordinates to Moff Gideon. So you got to go in there, but to do so, you got to scan your face. Boba can't go because he's like, let's just say they know my face, which I thought was great. Fennec can't go in there. She's wanted. Cara Dune's the marshal.
New
so
Republic,
yeah, so she can't go in there. So it is up to Mayfeld and Din. And for those wondering why the scan works, why the scan works for Din later on, is because from the way I understand it, let me know if you guys interpret it a different way, but I just feel like it'll accept anybody that's not an enemy of the Empire, basically. So as long as you're not marshal, wanted, or literally a clone that there's like a bajillion of you out there, then you're fine. So
wait, doesn't Mando have like any most wanted on him? Like,
well,
any
they
crime
don't
on
know.
him?
They don't know what his. They don't know what
right?
his. Yeah, well, they don't know what his face looks like. That's the whole.
But also my
You
other
know?
question is,
Right.
why would it matter what Boba's face was? Because the thing is, it's not like the clones were against them.
Well, maybe
Well,
because you know how before, like in the trilogies and the
oh,
sequels,
maybe
I
it's
mean?
like because like of Rex and stuff.
Yeah, probably that, or they just have records with it.
Possibly. I mean,
with
but the other
Boba.
thing is, the bigger question is how many clones are still with the Empire at that point, if any. You know, because if there are not
Probably,
any, if there are not any
few.
clones left in the storm, like in the Stormtrooper Corps, then does it really matter? You know, if there's
probably, like,
none
a
left,
few,
of
though.
course they'll be like, well, this guy is not one of us anymore.
Yeah.
So, or maybe it's just how he looked age-wise. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know how deep the scan was.
I don't know. I don't think it matters either. I think it was
Yeah.
just a funny throwaway. Funny throwaway line. So anyway, Mando decides to bite the bullet, go in with Mayfeld. They take out a couple of tank troopers, put on the armor and everything. And so we've got the first episode where Din is not wearing the Mandalorian armor the entire time, which I thought was kind of interesting. So it's Mando and Mayfeld against the world as they drive in towards the Imperial base, hauling this highly explosive cargo. That was, I think, something that we saw in Rebels, I want to say.
I think, yeah, it was like, what
It
was
was
the name of it? Like Rhydonium or something?
Rhydonium. Yeah, I'm pretty
Rhydonium.
sure we saw that in Rebels.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So they're hauling it in, and we get probably the most thought-provoking part of the episode here when they're going through the town, and you see that these people are kind of, they don't have the best living conditions, and Mayfeld's like, they don't care if you're New Republic or Empire. They're just like, hey, don't mess with us, basically,
Well, I mean, also it kind of raises the question of how different is the Empire and the Rebellion?
Right, exactly.
Like, how
is
different
it kind of
are their levels when it comes to the Outer Rim? And I was actually
Right.
watching a film theory video on how the Empire was trying to do more, actually, for the Outer Rim than the
Yeah.
Rebellion does, because they mostly, all these,
right? The
basically just
Rebellion
care about
seems
the
to
core
only care about the
planets.
core. Yeah, the core
they do.
worlds.
They only do really care about the core planets. And I mean,
Right.
the only reason why they really come to the Outer Rim is to help liberate some of these groups, but then they stay there, And it's the
Right.
whole thing about the occupation of the troops there, and it's just like, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter to them because they're just a bunch of dudes in helmets that are coming and basically staying on their planet,
Yeah.
So it's very interesting, taking their resources, all this and that, It's
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah.
Also, the question of when he was talking to Mayfeld, when Din was talking to Mayfeld, and Mayfeld asked the question, well, wasn't the rule that you can't take off the Mandalorian helmet?
Right.
And he's just like, what's the difference between that helmet
Right.
and,
Is it
the
right? No.
trooper helmet?
Yeah. No. Is he was like, what's the rule that you can't show your face or that you can't take off your Mandalorian helmet? Because obviously there's a big difference, and it comes back into play later on. But I think that
I think that it throws away also the Crusader law of like one of the old laws of being Crusader, at least in Legends, was that you always have to wear a piece of Mandalorian armor at all times.
Yeah, so I think that this episode is kind of a turning point in a way,
Yeah.
is because we have Din kind of seeing almost now like firsthand kind of seeing that flaw in the system, almost that he's, he sees, hey, maybe to get stuff done, sometimes I can't always, follow the Mandalorian creed to a T. And maybe he has to kind of go outside of that, or kind of maybe not create his own rules, but, is not be so stuck in his ways that he, let something bad happen, is that he can't, he can't like be so tied to the Mandalorian creed that he just lets Grogu die, right? So he throws that out the window when there is any question of whether or not he's going to be able to save Grogu, right? So
It's just mostly
I
just
think
him bending stuff. just bending some rules, you know.
Right, is bending some rules,
just for the
but
sake
also
of Grogu.
yeah, exactly. But I think he also realizes that maybe it's not such a great rule to begin with.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, also it just leads to many issues later down the line. And I think that he's starting to realize that it's like people like Boba Fett, Bo-Katan, all of them, they can take off their
Exactly.
helmet whenever they want to.
Exactly.
And they're also Mandalorians, and he's just kind of like, well, everybody else basically does the opposite of what I do, and they just try to make their way in the universe, and they get their goals done the way they want to get them done. They don't have to follow any rules or codes or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, of course, yeah, the Mandalorians still do, but you know, and they still have some kind of moral code, but they don't. You know, you don't see any of them having to follow strict like armor rules or anything. They get whatever job they need to get done.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Okay, so here, speaking of the armor, something we talked about a little bit, like literally right before we went live, was Boba Fett's repainted armor, which looks great, but you guys were asking, well, why did he repaint it? So I've got my thoughts on it. Why do you guys think he kind of went back and decided to repaint?
Dusty.
Why'd the armor need a repaint?
And the paint was coming off. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, the armor didn't look too hot in the last episode. It looked like it just came out of Sarlacc pit. Oh wait. Also, it looked like it was just all rolling around in desert for like a whole bunch of time. I think it makes perfect sense why he would want to repaint it. You know?
Yeah. No, I mean,
it's pretty straightforward with the because you know how Cobb Vanth was wearing it, and he's like, you know what? It's not my battle scars, and I haven't worn it for a few years. I might as well paint it, repaint it, and new slate, new leaf.
That's kind of that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't really think that is that deep. I just think that is kind of. Like,
I'm pretty sure it is that deep because you know how Boba Fett is.
I'm saying as in like I don't think that he was just like thinking, I need to do like a fresh start or anything. I think he was just like,
well, I actually do.
Trashy.
I think actually,
really,
I think it actually does have a deeper meaning. I think it. Yeah,
I just think that like it was.
Crusader.
I mean, if you looked at how it looked, even in like the original trilogy, I mean, it wasn't looking too hot, but it looked a little bit better than how it was at the beginning of the season. And I just feel like, I mean, at least if I was the one wearing the armor, if all the paint's just chipping off, I'm like, okay, let me just repaint it.
Yeah,
I don't know. That might just be me,
I'm
though.
thinking that it's more signifying this fresh start. So, a lot of...
Yeah, I mean, I guess it also
a lot
could
of people were debating, obviously, from last episode is, does Boba have some sort of ulterior motives? Is he helping Mando out for the right reasons? Is he there just to help get Grogu back to hold up his end of the bargain? Or is he possibly somehow maybe working with Moff Gideon? Does he have something else that he's playing at or whatever? But I think seeing him, fresh start, repaint the armor, the way he's been acting and how he's kind of just like a Mandalorian brother to Din right now, I feel like that kind of shows like whatever happened to him on Tatooine after the Sarlacc pit, something changed, or he's always had these morals that he just is now kind of bringing to the forefront. And I feel like that also can kind of rub off on Din a little bit as well, and kind of show, like we were talking about it again, it's just like kind of getting away from the old ways that he used to do things, and be a little bit more free in the wearing of the helmet all the time. But yeah, I think it has some significance, if not just.
Are you gonna look at me and tell me that this picture right here, that he does not look like he needs a repaint?
That's just the old armor. That's just
I'm not saying that he didn't need the. I'm not saying that that of course it probably isn't because he turned a new leaf, but I also feel like it's partially just because.
I think it's because he turned over a new leaf.
I think that is part of both.
New leaf, honestly. But I wish, honestly, he just kept it like that. Like, just kept his armor just like how it is. I mean, because like we're used to seeing him with the battle scarred armor. Like, like all chipped and all that and weathered down.
Not chipped.
Well, yeah, but
I don't know.
To me, like with Tazz over here, he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just a fresh start because, as again, he didn't wear it for a few years because Cobb Vanth was wearing it. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think, honestly, controversial
I'm gonna
opinion.
look back at Empire Strikes Back.
Controversial
Ooh, the bright
opinion,
light.
but I actually like this repaint with like the black undercoat
Exactly. Yeah.
more.
Oh yeah.
I
he
like it.
He definitely got some bangs. Like he definitely got
Yeah, no,
banged up a bit.
it got banged up quite a bit. I liked the look last episode, or the episode before this episode. But I think
Find
the
the
new
picture.
look with the repaint and the black undersuit and everything, I don't know. That's my favorite look for him. And he's also got his blaster back, so, you know. That's all you can really ask for. But the big question, if he went through all the trouble of repainting the armor, why did he not fix the dent?
Well, because why not? That's part of his character.
Yeah.
It's a part of his history. Also, I don't think you can just buff that out.
But also, how do you dent Beskar?
What do you mean? How do you bend Beskar? I mean, you're messing me up. How do you bend Beskar? I mean, it's not like it's Beskar is not. It's not impossible to be, damaged. It's not impervious to damage.
Yeah.
Like actual like full on blaster bolts. Like I mean, you remember when what's his name? When last season he got messed up by Moff Gideon.
Yeah, but
I mean,
his armor didn't dent. So how did how does Cad Bane's blaster really dent?
The place where he shot him at was open parts of the armor, so he basically just shot straight through him. But I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
it can dent. It's not like it's not impervious. It's like
Speaking
it's
of
like
speaking of armor, though, I thought it was funny when Din was fighting off the pirates, and he tried to block him a couple of times, and he's like, "Oh shoot, I don't have my armor on." That was great. So yeah, continuing on in the episode, obviously they're moving along. After the nice character-driven, introspective conversations about morality and helmets and such, we have some pirates come in to try and destroy the Rhydonium. But also, interesting question here. Were the pirates really the bad guys? Because they were trying to destroy something that the Empire had. And in the end of the episode, they just destroy the Rhydonium anyway, obviously to destroy the facility and stuff like that. But, like, did they just, like, kill a bunch of innocent people that were just trying to take down the Empire?
Did the end justify the means? That's the real question.
Like, so we were like kind of cheering for them and everything.
But, I mean, also
and
they're
then,
pirates, so I mean, what really were they going to use the resources?
I don't know.
for
They could have been good
besides-
pirates.
Good pirates.
I mean, look.
Hondo?
I don't know. Yeah. Well, no, I thought Hondo was going to show up too, but yeah, Crusader, what were you saying?
So, like, I mean, because Din and Mayfield were in that armor, right?
Yeah.
And those pirates didn't know they were just doing a heist, and they're like, "Yeah, these are just some random stormtroopers and all that. Driving this Rhydonium to a mining hub. We might as well take it out." I mean, pirates are more like kind of like rebels too, but more like in a small faction, because they don't like the Empire. So
exactly.
They,
were they? Did they have good intentions? Were they like, "Oh, hey, the Empire shouldn't have this Rhydonium. Let's destroy it before something bad happens"?
They have the thermal detonators.
Yeah, I mean, it looks less like they were going to destroy it, but I mean,
right. So I don't know. I don't know
exactly what their reasons
I don't know.
were.
Maybe I'm looking too far into stuff.
But I mean, also, is it
episode.
kind of weird to think that for a second, when they got saved by the Empire, is it just me or were you kind of like a little bit happy about that?
Oh yeah, no,
you were kind of happy to see some TIE fighters, and I was like,
when
really,
would
like,
you
the first
ever
time
think that
really
you would
are.
get TIE fighters and stormtroopers with good aim, followed by triumphant music and a sigh of relief? Like, never.
Yeah.
But
But then also, like, is it weird that when they finally docked in the tank and everybody was like, "Yeah, you guys did so great," then when they were about to go into the room, in like the little cafeteria, which I don't know why it's in the cafeteria, in that little cafeteria area,
emergency meeting,
and yeah, basically.
Mess.
And is it just me, or did it kind of like click at you, like for a second you're like, "Oh wait, these are actually bad guys," and you're like, they're literally surrounded by like.
Oh yeah.
Everybody,
they are in the enemy team spawn for sure.
Yeah. And I was just like, dang, this could go really bad real quick for them.
Yeah.
And it
I was pretty surprised by
hold on. Or no,
But the amount of
continue,
people in there too.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like
there were-
pretty
there were a
surprised,
lot
like,
of-
whoa.
Okay, but you know what I
Whoa.
just thought about?
What?
Hmm.
There were 2 imposters in the cafeteria.
Very true. Why should there have been like 10 people in that one scene?
Oh my god. Oh, that'd be
Oh, it's
hilarious.
Crazy.
All right,
But, like-
Mandalorian Among Us connection confirmed. You heard it here
Somebody's
first,
got to
guys.
make those skins.
Yeah,
And
Mandalorian,
make those skins happen. Make those skins
Mandalorian
happen.
and Among Us crossover confirmed. It is going to happen after the Fortnite crossover.
But like, is it just me,
It's
or
true.
is it kind of weird how? Well, not weird, but it's kind of interesting to see all those different kinds of stormtroopers, because there weren't just normal stormtroopers. There were also some shore troopers. There were some, of course, there were the tank troopers, and even some of the stormtroopers. Like, their armor was just absolutely dirty, And it's just like it. I guess it kind of really shows how the Empire kind of fell, and how they're basically just using whoever they have left, and they don't really care who it is. They just, are trying to do whatever they're trying to do, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. The shore troopers, though, I was surprised to see them in this.
Yeah, again, also,
they're on a tropical planet, kind of.
That's true.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't really know. I don't know why they would need them out there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
Might
didn't
just
see any.
be
I
me.
didn't see any shores.
I would be more inclined to feel like there would be maybe some jungle troopers there. Or
Yeah,
something.
that's what I would have thought too. But like, I don't know. I'm not complaining. Like, I thought they were cool.
No, I
they
thought
were
shore
like,
troopers are cool, but
aside from the Death Troopers in Rogue One, they were like my favorite
Oh, yeah.
new thing.
also the Death Troopers weren't there Death Troopers also in Mando season 1?
Yeah, there were Death Troopers in season 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
At the finale, right?
Death Troopers
Yeah,
are
that's
so
true.
cool. And now
That's
we're
true.
about to
Yeah,
get
whatever
some
happened to
Dark
the Death
Troopers, so-
Troopers?
They died.
Oh, that's
what
true.
happened.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we've got Din and Mayfeld behind enemy lines after they've delivered the Rhydonium. And it's like, hey, you're the only shipment that came in this week, or today, whatever. The only shipment that came in today. And they get to the cafeteria, they see the terminal. Mayfeld goes in there. Keep in mind, he has his helmet off. I don't know why he didn't just put his helmet on until he got to the terminal. But anyway, he goes in there. He's like, oh, hey, this guy, I know him. He was my superior when I was in the Empire. Can't do it. Sorry. And then Din's like, all right, give me the thing. I'll go do it. And he's like, you got to take your helmet off. And he's like, just grabs it. And he's like, for Grogu, basically.
That just doesn't make sense to me, though.
What?
I don't know. Like, he could have easily done it because the guy didn't even recognize him at the end of the
Right,
day anyway.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But like
So-
it because plot, we needed to get to the moment where we needed to get to a point where we would see Din break a rule.
That's probably
for
why Din was sitting at the
Grogu.
table and he was like looking at him. He's like, "Wait, so I didn't need to take off my helmet?" Din just and you're like,
yeah. Wait, so I didn't need to take my helmet off? So anyway, Din goes
What do
to
you
the
think,
terminal.
Crusader?
Yeah, Crusader, what do
"No,
you
I
think?
was just gonna ask. What were you thinking about that scene?"
Yeah, I don't know why he had his helmet off. Oh, I mean, earlier before they got in, he said that he couldn't see when he was driving, so he took it off. But
Yeah.
I mean, he's an ex-Imperial sharpshooter and all that, so
I hope he could see.
yeah, I mean, yeah, like that. But I don't know, he could just put his helmet back on because
Right,
they're-
I don't know why he
they're
didn't just
going
put it back
into
on
a
when
mining hub with a bunch of Imperials of the Empire, and you don't know one of those guys is like, hey, I think I know that guy.
Yeah, or also the other thing too is if they're all on this kind of remote planet, you would think maybe they would kind of all know each other and think, oh, hey, this is kind of strange. I haven't seen this guy before.
Yeah. Also, I don't know why anybody would assume that those troopers could just sit up there and just start wrecking house against some pirates.
Yeah,
You know,
when have
they're
you
"Where'd
ever
you learn
seen
that, the
Yeah,
academy?"
right. When have you ever
Like-
seen a stormtrooper take on 10 pirates on top of a moving tank and throw around a spear like he did? That actually also gets me excited to see. Hopefully he fights Moff Gideon with the Beskar spear. We get a Beskar spear versus Darksaber fight next week, hopefully. That would be really cool. But yeah, so Din goes in to slice the terminal, tries to scan with the helmet on, and it's like, obviously you can't do that. So he takes the helmet off, and he scans it, and it works. We get to see Din's face again. We get to see Pedro Pascal's beautiful face with the mustache and all. Slices the terminal. It works.
Like,
finds Moff Gideon's location. Trooper.
What was that guy's name again?
I don't even know.
I forgot his name.
I don't even know.
I knew he had a British accent or a country.
No,
accent.
he had he had like a country accent. He was like the only.
It was like really
it was a weird accent. He was like
kind of reminded me of DJ.
He was like, what? Oh yeah, DJ from
Just a little bit though.
8. Yeah. No, well, because DJ was different. He had like I don't even know. Anyway.
I don't know either.
Yeah. No. So yeah, this guy had like kind of a country accent. He was like, how's it going, boys? Like, I don't know.
I don't think he wasn't like that, but he had some kind of accent. He had an imperial accent.
He was like, yeah, the Empire. Something like that. Empire. Oh yeah, no. And so he's like, what's your number, trooper? And then he's like,
TK.
What's your TK number? And then so he's like,
I'm just gonna say this. I love Din's face for basically like just like the rest of the show.
Yeah,
like, the
Din,
rest
he was
of
just like
the time with his helmet off. He's just like,
because he's not used to that.
Yeah, no, I think well, no, it's basically like, I feel like it's like, you have a dream and it's like, oh shoot, what if I like didn't go to the store with pants on or something like that? Like that's literally Din. He was out in public without his helmet on.
With his pants
he was literally
ankles.
Yeah, exactly. So like obviously he would be like, oh, this is weird. I don't know how to interact. People have never seen my face before. This is weird. Or maybe Din just always looks like that under the helmet. Who knows?
Yeah, the Mayfield came out from the cut to help him out a bit.
Yeah. So here's the other question: if Mayfield was willing to do all that for Mando, then why didn't he just do it in the first place?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's the one thing that doesn't make sense. Is in the end, Mayfield could have gone and done it, and they probably wouldn't have had to deal with like all this extra stuff. But
plot.
They had to pad the episode a little bit. So Mayfield comes in there and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is my superior. He lost his hearing or whatever." And then it's just like, "What's your name?" He's like, "Huh?" He's like, "Oh, we just call him Brown Eyes." And he's like, "All right, Brown Eyes."
Let's have a drink.
Let's have a drink, Brown Eyes.
So, and I think that the best part about that drinking scene was Operation
Cinder. The name drop of Operation Cinder. Yeah. So wait,
which is kind of interesting.
Who did not finish the Battlefront 2 campaign? Because I remember we talked about this a little while back.
Yeah,
okay,
only
both
you
of you didn't.
It up. But I know I read up on it. But basically, isn't it just they were just gonna basically just glass a whole bunch of planets?
No, they messed with the weather.
Oh yeah, it was the weather. I said glass. I was just thinking about Reach. Remembering Reach.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I knew it was something with lasers, space lasers, and they were just gonna do something. So yeah, it was with the weather. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
how's it going, chat? Yeah, we're all doing well. How are you doing? But yeah, so they name dropped Operation Cinder from the Battlefront 2 campaign. That's the kind of the contingency that the robotic Emperor Palpatine had. That was like, hey, we'll mess with the weather of the planet and it'll kill a bunch of people on it. Yeah, so
it's supposed to kill some Imperials or something. I don't know.
It killed a whole bunch of everybody.
Yeah, basically kill a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
It was like a massacre technically.
Yeah, but Mayfield was alive and part of the Empire, I guess we can assume at the time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's kind of crazy. And it's just kind of crazy how he was just breaking down right there. I bet he probably saw some stuff with that Operation Cinder type stuff.
Yeah, he does.
And he snapped. It's crazy. And I was kind of surprised when he snapped. I thought he was just going to have to work through it. And he's like, nah, just shoots him.
I was so surprised. And then you just the camera angles to to the left or the right, and like the short trooper just has his
I feel so
plate.
bad for that guy. That guy was just trying to find a seat, and he just sitting here like,
Like, what just happened? What?
and
he got
hilarious.
smacked.
Though.
He got smacked.
Yeah. He was just trying to eat his lunch, and then man.
He's like, man, I just survived all this crazy stuff with these pirates. Let me find this seat real quick. Just sees this officer get shot right in front of him. Dang.
Like, dang.
No meal for me.
Looks like I'm dying today.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, I'm very confused too, because you know how when they first came in, when Din and Mayfield came in with the little truck transport, there was all those people, but where did they all go?
Yeah, that's the other question. When they started shooting and when everybody started shooting. And again, as I said before, Din's face was just lit up. Like, he's like, and they killed everybody in the room. But surprisingly, there's like nobody else around. I guess they just like went to do their jobs or something. I don't know.
Like, there was a whole bunch of them, but only
I guess nobody's so
dozen
hungry.
showed up. And like,
But then, I mean, I think the cool part was after that, Mayfeld was kind of like, hey, I didn't see anything. And these guys, of course, didn't see anything because they're all dead. So put back on that helmet. They just went away.
Yeah, so
maybe, do you think there were cameras in there?
that's
Probably.
that's the thing too, is like there had to be cameras in there, but
Yeah, then like
For-
somebody's
but
like looking
for-
back on the cameras. They're like, who the heck is this
it's
guy?
like, what happened in here? But for plot reasons, Mayfeld was the only
yeah.
one that saw Mando's face. He's like, I didn't see your face. Put the helmet back on.
So Mayfeld is technically the only person that is alive that knows what he looks like.
Yeah, so are we supposed to assume that even Baby Yoda has not seen Din's face now?
No.
Nope.
Okay, so all I'm waiting for is in the finale episode, they go to get Grogu, they get him from his cell, and then in the cell, Mando just takes his helmet, like doesn't even think twice. Just goes in there, takes the helmet off, and just gives Grogu the biggest fatherly hug of all time. Like,
Grogu.
Grogu, I missed you.
My son.
Grogu,
And
my
then
son.
Grogu's gonna look at this guy. He's like, "Who the heck are you?"
No, he's gonna be like, Grogu, my son, I love you. And then Grogu's like, I know.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pulls a Princess Leia.
But
Aren't
I
you
mean,
a little short to be a stormtrooper?
Yeah.
yeah, no, our picture right now makes it look like Boba's like half as tall as Mando.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't Boba Fett taller than Mando, or Mando is? Mando's taller than
No,
Boba?
we looked it up. I think what was it? Tamora Morrison is like 5'7", 5'7", 5'8". Pedro is 5'11". So
It's not that much shorter.
yeah, I think Din's definitely got the high ground in that picture. He's a little bit like up on a ledge or something. I don't know. But I just thought that was funny. So, getting towards the end of the episode, like you guys said, stuff breaks out in the lunchroom, shooting and firing and killing all the stormtroopers that come in. Go out the window. We have Fennec and Cara Dune.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the damn window.
Yeah, the little scaffolding.
Yeah. So Cara Dune and Fennec and Phase Fennec are providing sniper cover from up on the ledge as Mando and Mayfeld are getting up to the roof. Boba gets in. Yeah, they're getting to the exfil location.
Clear the exfil.
They've got to clear the exfil of the zombies. So
Gotta get the
that
big chungus, mini chungus.
yeah, so that what is it? Viper 1 could come in and
Yeah.
and extract them. So yeah, so Boba comes in Slave 1. They jump onto the ship and they're getting away. They're like, we got it. They think that they're away. Mayfeld shoots the Rhydonium with the sniper, showing, hey, he's still the Imperial sharpshooter. And he's like, it just felt right. I don't remember exactly what the lines were, but it was roughly something like that. It's like he basically was something that he had to do. So I thought that was great. Just kind of a full circle character thing. Like, a lot of people didn't like his character last season. I thought it was.
Yeah, I thought his character was all right.
I thought it was fine. I thought he was fine. I like, not one of my favorite characters, but like, I liked him. I thought he was cool. I think Bill Burr's a funny guy. I think he's a good comedian. So it was good to have him back for this episode. But they gave him a lot more depth and a lot more character, and I really liked his arc in this episode. And, you know, kind of the thing with the PTSD with him and everything, and then bringing it here to the end where in the end he came through. Like, he'll joke around a lot, he'll, you know, not be the greatest person, but when push comes to shove, he was there and he did what he had to do. And that was great. But the greatest thing of the episode, when they're getting away, a couple TIE fighters come after Slave 1, and then they're going up, and then you and I, when we're watching the episode, you turn to me and you're like, thermal detonator. I'm like, or not thermal detonator. I'm stupid.
I was like, what?
Seismic charge.
I said
seismic charge.
Seismic
no, you're like, seismic charge. And I'm like, no way, they're not going to do that. Could they? And then Boba just hits the button, drops the seismic charge, drops in between the two TIE fighters, and then we just get a
Bro, when I heard that, I like the sound. That was like some quality sound.
I was like transported back to the first time I ever saw episode 2.
It's like, what? That's crazy.
Seismic charges are the best.
So they are, but they can't overuse them. Like, this has to be like the only time we see it this season.
Or if he uses seismic charges, like blow up, like, you know, a ship.
Like blow up Moff Gideon's ship or something. It's got to be meaningful. Yeah. So I thought that was good. And it was got like a get out of jail free card. He was just like, screw it, drop it.
I think it's also crazy how at the end of the episode they just kind of let him go. They let Mayfeld go. But I think it's just mainly because they realized that he's a bad guy, but he's not really a bad guy, you know?
he just got caught in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, and that's why he died. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Mayfeld died in the refinery explosion. Like,
it's crazy.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
I just also think that it's funny when they were saying that, and then he was like, "Oh, does that mean I can go?" What else
and then Mando just like Mando's just standing there. He's like, go.
Yeah,
go.
But he honestly thought it was a trick question. Like a trick.
Yeah.
Oh no, I bet, no. He definitely thought. Yeah, he definitely thought that they were about to just like murder him right there. But no. So overall, though.
Then the final scene.
Yeah, final scene. I was about to say. Yeah.
With and I picked up on it. I think you did too.
Yeah.
When we were watching. I don't know. I was also bringing it up. But when Mando called up Moff Gideon, he was basically like, "I'm coming for you." He recited the same lines that Moff Gideon said to him when they were inside the little bar, and it was like, you have something I want."
Yeah,
yada, yada.
You have something I want.
You can never.
You may think that you know what you are in possession of, but you do not. And then Gideon was like, "It means more, blah 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 blah." But no, he was like, "He means more to me than you will ever know."
Yeah.
I am, you know.
He was basically mocking Moff Gideon, basically saying, he's like, "Yeah, you definitely like screwed up this time, like real big."
No, he pulled the big Uno reverse card. He was like,
"Yeah,
I'm coming for you."
Moff Gideon was just like standing there, it's like, "Yeah, I think I messed up this time. I think we need to get this." I was like, "Yeah, I know."
Oh, go ahead, continue.
Oh yeah, I was just saying stuff, but yeah, Moff Gideon like definitely was like he's like, "Yep, I messed up big time." But he didn't look fazed by it because he's like, "Yeah, I totally think I'm gonna get Grogu, you know, the child, and get this blood stuff, you know." Yeah. But actually, I don't even know what does he want with Grogu in his blood?
He wants his midichlorians.
Like, does he want to make like an army of like Grogu jet like blood, like clones, or what?
He manipulated the midichlorians.
I mean, it could really be something about Snoke. It could just be that he wants to be force sensitive himself. It could mean that he wants to make a force sensitive army. He really wants
I don't know.
To know.
Yeah, it's either it like you said, it's either he is trying to make himself force sensitive. He is maybe trying to, if it really is going to be that bridge between the originals and the sequels, that maybe this is somehow related to either Palpatine or Snoke or both, or this is to like create his own force sensitive army somehow.
Yeah, I just think that the bigger question is really going to be who's going to be in the final battle. So of course we already know who's going to be there with Mando, Fennec.
Yeah. Mando,
probably
FaZe
Cara
Fennec,
Dune,
Boba, Cara
Boba
Dune,
Fett, maybe Cobb Vanth.
I don't know.
I don't know if they're going to.
I don't know if they're gonna go back and grab Cobb Vanth.
I think they might try to hit a Bo-Katan, and if not, she's just gonna meet him there probably, and she's gonna be like, "Oh, you're here too."
Oh no!
Honestly, I feel like they're just gonna bring up all the boys, all the crew, main and crew that he has met so far.
I don't think they're gonna bring in this though. They might though.
I don't think Ahsoka is gonna come back this season.
Ahsoka would be a little OP for that.
Yeah, I don't think Ahsoka is gonna come back this season. I think that we'll probably get our Jedi tease though. Back to that'll probably not be either until like there could be a point. Like the
last frame.
Yeah, I feel like that'll be like basically their Marvel style post credit scene where stuff's gonna finish and then we're gonna go back to not them, but yeah, they'll flash us back over to the Seeing Stone and we'll get a tease of whatever the Jedi is that comes.
All you're gonna hear are the Seeing Stone. Already gone, mother.
Yeah, no. So we're gonna either get so yeah. Here's the thing. Speculation time. Is it going to be Mace Windu? Is it going to be Luke? Is it going to be Cal Kestis? Is it going to be Ezra?
Luke. I don't think it's going to be Ezra. I think Ezra's still missing. I think that's the whole point of the Ahsoka series.
Yeah.
Either Ezra, Cal, or Mace Windu to me.
Also, because you have to think at this time, if what just happened, the Ahsoka episode happens before they even see Sabine, then of course they're still looking for him.
That's true too. I think we can rule Ezra out because I think
Mace is a possibility,
especially with the announcement of the Ahsoka show, which we'll get to that.
I don't think Cal Kestis is also.
I don't think that wouldn't be a good tease. Like
he's also not really a powerful Jedi. He's just kind of a Jedi. He's basic.
Yeah. Most people wouldn't know who he is either.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, Mace Windu, because like he's very powerful and all that, and Grogu.
I think
I'm pretty sure Grogu is like really powerful too. But in a way, gotta be... but he's still in training kind of way.
But also think about this: Luke Skywalker is on the lookout for Force-sensitive people. He's looking for that. That's what he's wanting to do. He wants to bring about a
new Jedi Order, right?
Yeah, a new Jedi Order. So of course he'd look for Grogu. Of course he'd want to train somebody like that.
Luke's the obvious choice.
Yes, it is very much the obvious choice. But I also feel like
Mace is the out there choice, but there's a lot of evidence to suggest that it could be Mace because, that would be such a cool dynamic to have. Mace comes in there thinking that he's going to train Grogu, but he sees that Boba's palling around with Mando, and then Boba sees, oh, hey, Mace Windu's here. He chopped my dad's head off in the Battle of Geonosis. I kind of hate this guy. He's not cool. So you could have that conflict there.
Also the other thing is he might have forgiven, Mace at this point. He might have just given up on it because,
maybe.
I don't really know. Because it also might be just that he sees that, maybe Jango just wasn't really a good guy either. Maybe he looks at him and he says, maybe my dad wasn't really the best. And
I don't think so.
I don't think so
Boba
either.
Worked for the Empire,
there's always
so
a possibility, but
no, and Boba worked for the Empire, so like.
But he doesn't like the Empire either.
Well, what's the difference?
The main thing is, because now he's fighting against the Empire. What's the difference? Did Jango ever fight against the Separatists? Probably didn't have a chance. Got his head chopped off.
Yeah.
He did lead to he literally led to the whole army of the Republic. So there's that too. So
yeah.
Also, if Boba's having this whole new page turner, this new leaf, he just flipped over, then is he going to just? I don't know. It really depends. I don't even know what I'm saying.
I don't know. All I want is Mace to show up at the Seeing Stone and then recreate the scene of John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. Just show up at the Seeing Stone and just be like, "Where you at? Where you at, Grogu?"
Yeah.
But yeah, Crusader, what is your final vote? I'm gonna say Mace, but what is your final?
Mace too.
Okay. All right,
I really
Strike.
don't know.
What's your
Why
final
don't you just
vote?
be somebody random? Why don't you just be like Yaddle or something?
Yaddle.
I bet it's just gonna be somebody that we don't even think of. Or the
There's
thing is,
no-
it could just be very easy to pick and choose. But I mean, if they're gonna go crazy, if they're gonna go out of this world, they're probably just gonna do Mace, which would make sense.
Yeah.
But if they're also just trying to stay, if they're trying to stay more safe, and I think it also might be less safe even to do Luke, because that'd be very crazy to do and could lead to a lot of things. So
Yeah, well, Luke's a big character. And then you also have to go with the whole thing of, do you digitally DH Mark Hamill, or do you bring in Sebastian Stan, which is the fan cast right now?
Yeah.
Which, obviously you can do. We've seen it happen with, they kind of dip their toes in the water with recasting the old characters by having Alden Ehrenreich play Han and Donald Glover with Lando and stuff like that. So it's been done. It's not out of the realm of possibility for them to recast for it, especially if we're going to get a lot of action. But do you really bring in, like, the Jedi right now to Mando?
I mean, here's the thing, though. Also, if
Does
you
he
sit there
even
and
need to
think
be
that
there?
It's not possible for Luke to even know that he's out there. I mean, that would make
right. It would be
kind of
right. It would be
here's the
silly
thing.
to think that Luke
Yeah.
wouldn't be aware of this super powerful, force
user
sensitive.
that's just
This
kind of chilling, you
right.
know?
This super powerful force sensitive being that is of the same species as Yoda, and also this crazy plot with this Imperial remnant and all this stuff. There's no way that Luke
Also,
wouldn't
speaking
be
of that,
aware of
I have
this.
a weird feeling that things are going to go sideways in the next episode,
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
this
New
is-
Republic actually is going to help them out. Just have a weird feeling.
I don't know.
I feel
but
like at least somebody's got to help them.
there's also still that possibility that the finale for this season is their Empire Strikes Back. Like, not that the episode's going to be bad, but it's just not going to have it's going to have the bad guys win outcome.
Which I think is also a very big possibility. To be honest, again, I don't really know what's going to be going on this next episode. I think it's just going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah,
But if I had to bet
really
on
excited.
which force user, I mean, Mace is, I guess. I guess I would go with Mace, but I don't know. I don't think that it's really going to be either. I think it's going to be somebody new, somebody
Okay.
somebody
Yeah,
different.
no, I mean,
or it could be nobody.
Totally. Go.
That's the other
Yeah,
thing.
that's
Grogu
true.
might
Is
just be on his own.
yeah, right. We might not get an answer to that until next season. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Mace, Crusader,
Mace. Definitely Mace.
and then the Strike is possibly nobody.
Yeah, possibly nobody.
Possibly
I'm up in the
nobody.
air, let's just say that.
But yeah, no, I'm excited for this final episode. I think, obviously some people are going to call this most recent episode filler. I totally disagree with that. I think it was a big character-driven episode. Very big kind of like, introspective look at things, and it was a big episode for Din specifically with character development and stuff. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more of Din's face going forward now. And yeah, I think that's basically it for this episode. There's not much else to say. We kind of dragged this out a lot talking about it. There wasn't too much content in this episode, but
I think it's more of just the characters themselves.
Yeah,
and that's
just the
most important
characters.
part.
Right, exactly. And there's quite a bit that could happen next week, or I guess this week. But we'll just have to see, because
That should be a 20-minute episode.
right, if the episode's too short, then everything that we're talking about, there's no way they could fit all this in.
That might
Because we
just
have
also
to
be an
have
hour
them
episode. Who knows?
right. Well, because we have to have time for them to get to Moff Gideon's ship, find Grogu, save Grogu, fight
Or
Moff
maybe
Gideon.
Or maybe
get captured.
Just get a whole team together. I mean, who knows, really?
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, it's weird because I feel like I have a bad feeling that they could possibly make this another 30 to 40 minute episode. As much as I would love this to be the same length, if not longer, than the premiere episode. The premiere episode was the longest episode of this season so far. It, to me, had the best pacing of the entire season because things were let things breathe a little bit longer.
Or the other thing is this could be just like the longest episode in general.
Right, that's true too. Or it could be the longest episode and it could be like an hour long.
That's what I just said, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm agreeing with you. Is like I think that would be, that's my hope.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just afraid that it's going to be another 30, 40, maybe 45-minute episode max. And I hope it's not.
All I feel is just that whatever they're going to do, they know what they're doing, you know?
Oh, yeah. I have no doubt that it's going to be a good episode. Even these short episodes have been really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's the sign of a good show is that you want more. So, they're doing something right, but, I would just like it to be a little longer,
Yeah.
But, if you guys don't have anything else to say about this episode, I guess we can move on to that Disney investor meeting.
Yeah.
You guys good? Okay,
Yep, I'm
so
good.
Earlier this week, Disney had their thing. It was basically like the replacement for their Comic-Con D23 announcements for this year. So they had this investor meeting where they announced a whole bunch of stuff for Star Wars and a whole bunch of stuff for Marvel. So let's kick things off with these Star Wars announcements. I have them pulled up here. Screen's gonna get super bright and shine on my face, so just be prepared for that. But so future Lucasfilm projects revealed. We have a Rogue Squadron movie that is going to be directed by Patty Jenkins, who has done the two Wonder Woman films.
Mm-hmm.
We have an untitled Star Wars film that is going to be directed by Taika Waititi, who is one of my favorite directors currently at this point. And actually, I think he could be possibly directing the finale for this season of Mando, because it's like a secret director. Like, we don't know who's directing the finale, so I'm like, well, he hasn't directed an episode yet this season, so possibly.
I'm holding out for Quentin Tarantino.
That would be insane. I would love that. So anyway, Taika Waititi.
Make it a whole 2-hour episode. Secret reveal.
No, 3-hour Mandalorian episode directed by Quentin Tarantino. Oh man, that'd be ridiculous.
So I'm holding out for. That's my theory.
Yeah, and then and in that case, then Mace Windu would 100% show up.
Say the F word too.
Yeah, no, that one only available on Hulu.
All the F bombs.
But yeah, Taika Waititi, untitled Star Wars film right now. That should be interesting. Moving on to series, we obviously knew there was an Obi-Wan Kenobi series. This has been something that's been talked about for so long. I've made multiple videos on this. I made a video on it back when it was announced that it was going to be a movie. I made a video then it was 2 years ago that they announced the series was happening. Now they are announcing more about the series because it's finally going to start filming next year in March, I think. And the biggest thing, the best thing that came from this was that Hayden Christensen is coming back and he is going to be playing Darth Vader in this series that takes place 10 years after episode 3, so it's smack dab in the middle of the prequels and the originals. This is my most anticipated Star Wars project for sure. It has been for a while. But yeah, that's the big thing. Second biggest thing, Ahsoka series, something else again that we knew roughly that was going to happen, but live action Ahsoka series with Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. Very cool to see that that's happening. Rangers of the New Republic, which is possibly that Cara Dune spinoff, where we could see a lot of those, New Republic characters pop in. Possibly that X-Wing pilot that's been popping up a couple of times, he could be coming back as well. So that should be interesting. We have a Lando series, which was something that was recently kind of came up in rumors. I think probably at some point this year is when the rumors started cropping up about that. That should be interesting. It'll probably be Donald Glover, young Lando. I've heard some people say, what if it's narrated by Billy D. Williams Lando, like recounting things that he did when he was younger Lando, so that they could incorporate both of them into it, which I think would be amazing. And if that's the case, instead of it being called Lando, it should be called like the Calrissian Chronicles or something, which would be hilarious. As that's a name that I've heard some people throw around, which would be great. But yeah, Lando series coming. That should be awesome. The series that we didn't think was actually going to happen, but is happening, the Cassian Andor series, just titled Andor. So that should be interesting. That's filming now. That's going to be like 12 episodes, I think. So that should be an interesting one as well. Taking place before Rogue One, of course, because he's kind of dead. The one that's kind of the most interesting is the Acolyte. So this is going to be kind of taking place in the final days of the High Republic, which is the new era that Disney has made, which takes place, it's after the Old Republic, but before the prequels. So this should be interesting. This seems like kind of the dark side focused show, and I'm not sure if this is going to be... I'm pretty sure this is going to be live action. It might be animated. I'm not sure. It doesn't really specify here. But whatever it is, it should be interesting. And then last couple of things, we have The Bad Batch, which was announced earlier this year, which is going to be pretty much a direct Clone Wars sequel. And we even saw like the logo like fade from Clone Wars to Bad Batch. The art style is the same as this most recent season of Clone Wars, so it looks incredible visually. And this was something that I was kind of confused about when they first announced it. I was like, Bad Batch, they were cool, but like I didn't think they needed their own series. But after seeing the trailer, it looks really good, so I'm excited for that. We have Star Wars Visions, which seems like it's going to be kind of like a stories throughout the Star Wars galaxy type of thing. So it's kind of like an anthology thing. I'm not really sure what that's all about, but sounds interesting enough. And then the final thing is we have a droid story, which is going to be following some of the famous droids in the Star Wars canon. So that should be interesting. I'm sure we'll see more, C-3PO, R2-D2, all that in there. But I've rambled enough. BB-8. I've rambled enough on those. What do you guys think about everything that was announced?
I mean, honestly, it's pretty good what they're actually doing this, because with Mandalorian and all that, like I feel like the Mando show is like pairing Disney and like the Star Wars film, but with all of this coming out, I think it's gonna be good. Like with all these, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna there's gonna be like some that's gonna probably be released in like the early or mid 2021 or like the end of 2021, but I think it would be pretty good though.
Yeah, I think all of this is in the plans through 2023, I want to say, is what all this is right now.
2023, oh man.
Yeah, so we've got years of Star Wars ahead of us, which is amazing.
So is it going to be like until 2023 they're going to stop doing it? Or...
No, is it like that's just kind of the slate right now. This is their slate for the next few years. It's like how Marvel announces like their, this is the next 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and then they'll update us when we get close to the end of all this stuff.
Oh man. Well, we're set with that.
Yeah, no, it is a great time to be a Star Wars fan. Like, we thought all hope was lost after episode 9, but Mando has saved everything. And it seems like they're finally not afraid of the prequels anymore, which is great. They kind of realize where they misstepped. I don't know. Where they realize their mistake with the sequels.
Yeah. So they just completely cut that out from their plans now.
Now they're just like, All right, let's just kind of, we'll come back to it eventually, maybe, possibly, probably not. Just kind of forget about that for a while. We have Mando, which is kind of filling in that gap, which might, in the end, kind of give us a little bit more insight if they're really going with all this, like, Snoke stuff eventually. Like, it could fill in some gaps and make things a little bit more, like, cohesive. Yeah, it might, you know, it might fill some gaps in there, but I wouldn't hold my breath for it.
Yeah.
But they're going back, and they're making the High Republic stuff. They're making the Obi-Wan series. They're filling in all of these eras that people like. They're going back to what works, and that is exciting.
Yeah, I think that it's a good time to be a Star Wars fan, as you said before. I think this stuff's gonna be very interesting. I just hope that's not oversaturated, and I hope that, I mean, of course, some of these I'm really excited for, some of these shows and movies and stuff, but some of them I'm not really. And some I feel like are just going to have like one season or whatever and just be swept under the rug and just not work out, while others will continue to work out and just be fine. But I think that's the whole point of testing all this stuff out. And it's the same for Marvel when we get to that. A lot of it looks good, but all I'm just going to say is I don't know. I feel like they're doing too much, and there's an issue with doing way too much. And I know that they're trying to have something for everybody, but I just hope that it doesn't lead to there just being some shows that are just not that great. Because you know me, I'm gonna watch everything either way. I just don't want to sit there and watch a bad show or something.
Well, here's the other thing though, is a lot of these seem like they're going to be limited series. Kind of like
that's the other
Obi-Wan,
thing,
I think, is one season, like 4 to 8 episodes. Yeah, I think some of them probably will maybe not happen. Like Cassian Andor is like 12 episodes, and then I don't think there's gonna be any more because like, we know he dies in Rogue One. So I think it's gonna be a one and done for that. I think a lot of these are gonna be kind of one and done. But that's not a bad thing.
Nope.
Because I still think that Mando is a show that potentially has 5-6 seasons in it.
Yeah, and it's one of those shows that actually makes sense for having more time in it.
Right. I think the only shows that'll have more than one season are going to be Ahsoka, The New Republic, Bad Batch possibly.
Definitely.
Which Fennec is going to be in. Fennec's going to be in Bad Batch.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interesting stuff that's going to happen. I mean, I feel like there's always a possibility that we get more Obi-Wan.
Yeah, there's always a chance.
You know, if people like it, I hope we get some flashbacks to Clone Wars, because we're having a live-action Ahsoka show. We're having Hayden Christensen come back as Vader. We're supposedly getting a rematch between Vader and Obi-Wan. So, like, what if we just get some cool flashbacks to, like, Clone Wars, Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Ahsoka, just, like, the trio? That would be amazing. That would be something. That would be something. But I think what they're doing here is very smart, though. Because they're making their own Arrowverse, basically. They're making their own MCU, they're making their own Arrowverse, they're making their own connected Star Wars universe. And the way that they advertised a lot of these shows, it's like, from the same continuity or from the same universe as The Mandalorian comes Ahsoka Tano, comes New Republic, whatever, you know, like, they're advertising them as Mandalorian spin-offs, which is a good sign that they want crossover between everything as well. So maybe we get to a big Avengers style, Crisis style, Defenders style crossover at some point between all of them. No, you don't think so? You don't think it's all going to culminate in something big?
Not really.
You think everybody's going to kind of stay separate?
This isn't Marvel. Yeah, I think everybody's going to stay a little separate.
Okay.
I mean, some might cross over, but there's no reason to do so, especially with them so spread out. Like, what are they gonna do? Just like grab everybody like it's the holiday special and just tell them to go fight some big threat or something? Like, there's no Star Wars serious threats.
No,
I'm
think
not
if
talking
they
like
really,
Avengers level threats. I'm not talking like
think
Galactus is gonna come
I
or
think
something.
Thrawn is an Avengers level threat.
No, he's not. He's
If
not.
he
Thrawn might be
if they
powerful,
bring in like the legend stuff with the whole, what is it, like the Yuuzhan Vong or something?
That's not important enough to bring in everybody. I feel like there's no threat that people that are currently there cannot handle. And again, as I said, they might cross over with some other people. Like if Mando wants to cross over with like the Rangers or whatever, or if whatever. But I don't think that they're gonna need to grab everybody. I don't think they're gonna like grab some random acolyte from the High Republic era and just tell him to go fight this dude named Thrawn. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I could never see that happening. The only reason I could ever see them, we shall see. But I feel like the only reason they'd ever pull anybody is, like how they had to pull out Ahsoka because Ezra was trying to save her life.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're setting up that there's the possibility of crossover.
I think there is a possibility of crossovers, but not between like, I don't think that we're gonna see.
You don't think that we're gonna see a giant team up?
No, I'm not seeing.
Fair enough.
There's not gonna be like the Bad Batch. Maybe Ahsoka and the Bad Batch. I don't know. It depends on. Where
I don't know.
Ahsoka's
Actually,
at.
that would be cool because we don't know.
You're not gonna see like the Bad Batch, Mando, some High Republic acolytes, and like I don't know, Lando Calrissian. That's just what.
Yeah.
That just
no.
But no. Here's the thing.
That's over. That's overgoing.
Yeah, Star Wars is a big universe. Not everything has to be connected. At least.
Yeah. Well, that's true too.
Like people can just like do their own stories and have their own stories. Because the other thing is also, if this stuff was actually happening, at least somebody in the universe would say something about it. I remember the time I was, Lando Calrissian would be like, I remember the time I had to work with a Jedi before or whatever. He's never seen any Jedi. He's just a just a normal criminal.
Yeah.
Just doing what he has to do.
Yeah.
Goes over to Cloud City and does his stuff over there.
That's true. But I don't know. I think I don't know what their plan is with everything. If they just want good individual stories, or if they really want to. Lore. Okay, yeah. Well, then that's good. I'm glad that they're doing that. They seem like they have a plan. Which is
Star Wars has never been like that though. Even think about the Star Wars stories that they're doing for like a little bit. That was their whole thing, but they weren't thinking about crossing those over. That's a whole Marvel thing. That's the whole like DC and Marvel comics thing. It's not like these characters are just like all like living in New York City or something.
Well, but they kind of were though. They were kind of setting up a crossover between things. Remember with Solo, like they brought Darth Maul in.
Well, that's different. They're not like Darth Maul doesn't have his own show or his own movie.
No, but like
Darth
they
Maul
were gonna do some stuff with that. Is like.
Well, I'm just basically trying to say they're not going to do like a massive crossover. They're not going to have an Avengers level threat.
Well, no.
They might bring in like, it'd be okay if like Mando brought in like Ahsoka and like Bo-Katan, but I think it's not like they're bringing in like, 20,000 Jedi from like 20 different periods of times and just tell them just to square up, They're just... I don't know. I understand like small crossovers if it's convenient to the plot and it actually brings in purpose. But if they're just gonna be bringing people in, then it's just like, again, what is this, a CW show? I don't need to see. Again, I don't need to see like Yoda breaking it down with like Boba Fett and Bendu. I just want to see him just chill, and just do their own stories.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That might just be me. That's all I really got to say though.
Yeah. Let's throw it over to Crusader, but before we do, Subcoker Project in chat, shout out to you, bro. How's it going? Love the fire emojis. But Crusader, what do you think though about all these announcements? What are you most excited for? What do you think about crossover?
Well, what these I think what I'm most excited for is probably Bad Batch and another season of Mando and Obi-Wan Kenobi. All the other TV shows they're good too, but those top three are what I'm more stoked about. And with the crossover, they shouldn't. Crossovers are fine, but as long as they're not really overdoing it, where they actually like have a lot Just have like a little small pieces, and then it'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's understandable though. I don't know. Maybe I'm just the weird one that wants an Avengers level team up in Star Wars. But
Oh no, man!
no,
that's gonna be an overkill.
Yeah, no, well, but like, you know what I'm saying? Well, that's kind of what they're doing with Mando right now. Who would have thought that you would have Din, Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, all these characters showing up in one season?
Hey man,
Like,
Mando is like legit like carrying Disney right now.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you know Mulan?
Yeah, about this,
You know
yeah,
Mulan?
because those are-
Oh man.
'cause those characters are in there for a reason because they're actually going to be doing their own shows.
no, I
mostly.
know, exactly. Well,
You know?
here's the only thing though. I'm afraid. Because there was no mention of a Boba Fett show.
Well, I mean, I don't know because I think that's perfectly fine because you have to think after this season. Let's say that they do get back Baby Yoda. Let's say everything's going all fine or whatever. Where else would he really? I feel like more than anything, if he's really changed, like how you guys are saying, and I think he has, I feel like his main purpose would be why not go back to Mandalore and actually try to start something new with Bo-Katan, because he's probably going to meet Bo-Katan, and Bo-Katan's going to be like, oh, well, you fought in the Civil War, or well, your dad fought in the Civil War, and yada yada, all this great stuff. And she's like, oh, your father fought against Death Watch?
Crusader,
Wow, maybe-
what's the stretchy thing?
It's
I'm-
a piece of string.
it is a piece of string.
Oh, it's just a piece of string, okay. I was like,
But, I mean-
what's going on?
I think that that's mainly where they're going to be going with this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
That makes
yeah,
sense.
probably.
But as again, we shall see.
We shall see. That is the... Here on the Legion Lounge, we shall see. We don't know anything, but we'll just wait and see.
We just have very good theoretical guesses
Oh, yeah.
and ideas.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So let's, if we're kind of done with the Star Wars announcements, time for Marvel? Okay. So, I got everything pulled up here as well. So, it looks like... I'll just read off everything that's announced right now. Not specifically everything that was announced at the event, but just everything that we know about now that the event has happened. So, we're going to have stuff from last year and stuff from this year, but here's a little graphic I saw. We've got Shang-Chi, which I think just finished filming. We have Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which we got our first full-length trailer for. Blade, which was announced last year. Spider-Man 3, which, you know, has got a lot of crazy stuff. Supposedly, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, everybody's back for this one. I heard Tom Holland might be in this one, too.
Ooh. Yeah, boy. It's pizza time.
It's pizza time. No, so they're setting up for multiverse stuff. And speaking of multiverse, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Kevin Feige literally mentioned that Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man, and WandaVision are all kind of intertwined with this multiverse stuff, which is great. Eternals, which I think has also wrapped filming, I'm pretty sure. Loki, we got a trailer for. That looked really good. WandaVision, like I said, that's the first of this new era of Marvel, the first of the new phase that's coming out on January 15th, I want to say. So that's going to kind of open up the rift for all this crazy multiversal stuff. And I'm really excited for that. That's probably one of my most anticipated shows for Marvel is WandaVision. For sure. Marvel What If, which is the animated What If series with the Watcher and just kind of random what if stories, like what if Peggy Carter was Captain Britain, you know, crazy stuff like that. So that should be interesting, just kind of fun throwaway things. Ant-Man 3, which is Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, which I just love the title for. Captain Marvel 2. Secret Invasion, which is a TV series on Disney Plus with Nick Fury and Talos, which is great. It's gonna be like a buddy cop thing, I'm sure, which is gonna be fun. We're gonna get a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
So is that going to be like a short special, or is that actually like a movie?
James Gunn talked about this, and he was like, he unironically loves the Star Wars holiday special. So it is going to be probably like a short, like 30-minute to an hour thing made for Disney Plus, a holiday special with the Guardians of the Galaxy characters, which should be incredible. Very excited for that. Black Widow is obviously on here. Have no clue when that's ever going to release, where that's going to release. Who knows? We're getting an Ironheart series. So that should be interesting. Fantastic Four. It was speculated for a while. It was rumored for a while. We're getting it. We're getting Fantastic Four, boys. It is going to be fun. Something else Iron Man related.
Armor Wars.
Armor Wars. You knew it. Yeah. Armor Wars. Rhodey's coming back. That should be fun as well. I Am Groot.
I will say this about this as well. There's some of these that I'm just like, okay, like, I mean, again, I'm not mad that we're getting, I'm not mad that we're getting the content, but like, it's just like at the same exact time, like, we're just sitting here, just like reciting things.
I know, I didn't realize this. There's literally like so much here, and I'm not even done. I'm on like the second to last row.
Oh my god, there's so much, and I feel like again, it's the same thing as I said with Disney and Star Wars is. At what point is it like, okay, there's a lot, and it's just like, do we really even need all this stuff?
I feel like half this stuff isn't even gonna come out.
Yeah, and the other thing is like, can some of this stuff just like, I mean, like, there's so much of it that there's a point where it's just like, how am I gonna be able to keep up with everything?
Well, here's the other thing. I'll get back to the rest of them in a minute, but you know, were you ever taught in school the whole thing about show me, don't tell me?
Yeah.
Like, you can announce all these projects all day long. You can say, this is coming out, that's coming out, we're working on this is in the works, that's in the works. And it's the same thing. It's not just a Disney thing, it's a CW thing they've announced series now. Like, there's supposed to be a Black Lightning spinoff, there was supposed to be, obviously we talked about it a bajillion times, Grey Arrow and the Canaries was supposed to happen. There's supposed to be some like DC Future State stuff happening. They've announced all this stuff. Disney, DC, Warner Brothers with the DCEU and everything, Star Wars, there's all these announcements. But very few things actually come out. Like, think about Black Widow, for example. It is a movie that was announced, filmed, ready to go, and we don't know when that's coming out because Disney's being stubborn and they don't want to release it on streaming.
Nope.
So, like...
they want to release it, like, later, or just like, nah, let's not. They're
gonna release it like
they
later.
Want, well, this is
they want it when movies come back.
This is the
basically.
thing. Disney wants to make $1 billion off of Black Widow,
even though they're
think
like rich. They're like
right. Well, they think that the movie can make $1 billion. There's no movie that is going to make $1 billion within at least the first year that movie theaters are back open, because you're still gonna have things on streaming. You're still going to have people that don't feel comfortable going to the theaters. You're still going to have people that theaters are not open around them.
There's also going to be people where they might not be able to afford to go to the theaters.
Exactly. You know? And it's just like, I feel like Disney is almost digging themselves a hole here with the movie releases. Just release it on Disney Plus.
Like
if you want to charge us... I don't know. At this point, even if you want to charge me an extra $30 to watch it,
just do it. Just get it released. Do it. We can wait like Mulan, and we didn't even watch Mulan. Like,
yeah,
Mulan
exactly. I think that's supposed to come out this month. So don't.
It came out already.
Oh, it did come out already. Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Was it good?
No, didn't have Mushu. did not have Mushu
Yeah,
Uh,
no.
because they wanted to make it a traditional, okay,
Yeah, no,
and
just
historically accurate.
watch the animated Mulan. That one's so much better.
Here's the other
And
thing.
I
Why do
haven't
they
seen
have to-
I haven't even seen the new one. And
But I mean, it's like with any one of those movies, you know, it's like, why are they just like literally Disney is double dipping? That's the definition. That's the definition of double dipping. Like,
They're
what
just
does that
making
add
live
or move?
actions.
Yeah, and all they're doing is like adding some scenes that like literally have no
oh
meaning.
yeah, it's
you know, just
it
like,
is
what? Really?
unnecessary. Like,
yeah, and it's the
who
same
in
thing with
their-
these. Is it really necessary to
But,
have
like-
all these TV shows and? Well, I mean, maybe some of the movies, but all these TV shows.
Yeah, and
ready
like
to
we
go.
don't want to sound like ungrateful that all this stuff is
Yeah.
happening, because like it is an amazing time to be a Star Wars fan, a Marvel fan, a DC fan,
Mm-hmm.
a movie fan, a TV fan, a fan of media and the creative pop culture-ness in general, you know? Like, it is a great time to be a fan of all of that, but when you have these greedy companies that want nothing but money and to just announce everything they can to get people to sign up for their streaming service, or, you know, wait for this thing to come out, wait for that thing to come out, it gets a little annoying.
It sounds very half-baked, a lot of
It
these.
gets a little
You know, and
annoying.
it's like looking at some of these Iron Man things. Do you really think we're gonna have an Iron Heart and also an Armor Wars, you know,
right,
TV series at the same
we
time,
don't need
or
that.
any time really close together? It's like,
Yeah.
really? Do we even need that?
No.
Like, at what point do we really need it? You know, it's like it's not like it's really filling in any gaps. It's like, okay, I guess it's cool. Rhodey's like getting back some of Tony's armor. I guess I don't know. Why did you even fall in their hands in the first place? What are you doing, Rhodey? You know. Also, it's like Ironheart. I guess yes, Ironheart is the. I'm not saying it's the better of the two, but it makes the most sense out of the two.
yeah.
You know?
I
If
mean,
they're going to be doing an Ironheart, they can actually bring back Iron Man into the, you know, Young Avengers if they're going to do that.
and there were only a few things announced here for Marvel too, but we can't forget that they announced like 10 other things literally last year as well.
Oh, speaking of that, you want to continue?
Yeah, so just rapid fire. Black Panther 2, Moon Knight, Hawkeye, which is on at the top of my list on these. I'll do a little short ranking, but Hawkeye, awesome. She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, and Thor: Love and Thunder. And that's it. So, you know, what do you got? I don't know. I don't even know. What do you guys think?
I kind of am looking forward to the What If, as well as the Fantastic Four movie. I think it could be really good. That's going to be one to really keep an eye out for. I'm also kind of excited for. Let me just double check. I'm also kind of excited for the holiday special. That actually looks like it could be interesting. But I mean, what are the things? The I Am Groot. Okay, that's cool, I guess. You know, Ironheart. That's cool, I guess. Armor
Yeah.
Wars. I guess that's cool.
Hey, real quick, did the stream die for either of you guys? Because my preview was just loading. Like, streaming software was fine. It didn't like cut out or anything.
I mean,
If
It
you're
looks
you're
like-
monitoring it, it's fine. I'm just wondering.
looks like we're live. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Anybody in chat, did it like buffer or something? Because just I don't know. YouTube Studios being weird tonight. Like the chat,
it
like the
looks
chat
good,
wasn't
yeah.
loading for a second.
I'm
Okay, I'm just
watching it
making
right now,
sure.
and it looks
No,
good,
I'm just
yeah.
making sure. I refreshed that. We're fine on OBS. I'm just making sure because it's doing weird stuff. YouTube's been doing weird stuff recently. Anyway.
YouTube's a little weird. Yeah.
Anyway, continuing. I'm sorry. I broke
No, I was
the
just
flow.
saying, like, and just like a lot of those, a lot of those things. You know, not talking about like WandaVision or Doctor Strange 2.
Right? No, is a lot of stuff
or
is
like some of those that
good.
actually like are adding to the story, or what else? I mean, I'm pretty excited, surprisingly, for Black Panther 2. I wasn't really a big fan of the first one, but I think it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with the second one, as well as what else is there? I need to pull this up.
Mm.
I don't even know where it's at.
Yeah, no, for me, I would say my most anticipated on this list are WandaVision, because that's coming out in a couple of weeks. Hawkeye, which is filming right now, which from everything that we've seen looks really good. Again, I'll be controversial. Hawkeye's my favorite Avenger. Roast me in the comments. Do whatever.
Hawkeye sucks, man. I don't know what you're
Hawkeye's
He just carries a bow.
Hawkeye is the strongest Avenger confirmed. And we're getting
win when Hawkeye's around.
And we're getting not only Hawkeye, but we're getting Kate Bishop and Lucky the pizza dog. Like, what's there not to love? That's gonna be great. Like you said, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, which it's like kind of like gonna be like a 3-part saga here, it seems like, is we're going to get WandaVision, which kind of opens the door for this multiversal stuff. Then Doctor Strange, which really dives deep into it. And then Spider-Man 3, which seems like it's almost going to be the kind of fallout or aftermath of whatever happens in WandaVision and Doctor Strange, because we're supposedly getting every version of Spider-Man back. We're supposedly getting...
I was saying this before to you, I think, but it also kind of makes me think, is it too much? Again, as I was saying before, is it too much? Do we really even need... Is Spider-Verse even ready to happen yet? Is any of this stuff really ready to happen yet? Like, are we ready on that kind of level? I feel like Spider-Man still has not had a movie where he can just do what he wants to do, and he doesn't have to like be behind like Iron Man or whatever. I know a lot of people bring that up, but I feel like he hasn't had that moment where he had to just be himself and just had to be, wearing just a normal suit or whatever,
Yeah, we have not had much just solo Spider-Man. Everything has been connected to Avengers or Tony Stark or whatever. Like, if this was honestly the way that I would have loved this movie to go, is if it was just a very self-contained solo Spider-Man thing. Like, he's got to deal with the fallout of the fact that the world now knows / thinks that Peter Parker is Spider-Man because Mysterio put it all out there. He's like, Peter Parker's Spider-Man. And then
sorry for cutting you off right here, but actually something not surprising, but something I actually kind of thought of right now. Something that I think would be good is, what if they just made a Spider-Man show? Like, all these other things are getting TV shows and all this, but if we had a Spider-Man show, you know how great that would be?
That
we would just be able to have
Spider-Man
one small
show
contained story that, I mean, a lot of Spider-Man stories take a good amount of time, and something that can actually build the characters. And let's just say that, like, he doesn't have to do anything else. He can just be at school, be doing school stuff. Then all of a sudden, like, oh, I don't know, Harry Osborn or something, something interesting like that. And they just have to deal with it, Yeah. And maybe he's talking with MJ about it, and he's just being Spider-Man. I don't understand why a lot of the stuff that we like, one of the major things that we haven't gotten yet is just Spider-Man having to work on his own and just having to figure stuff out and just having to do him. Everything for him has been just so big, and kind of in the first one, it was kind of him, in Spider-Man Homecoming, it was kind of him figuring everything out. But I mean, after that, what was the second one? He went to like, Europe, and he was just doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff.
They've totally gotten away from the whole point of the end of the first MCU Spider-Man movie was like, hey, I don't want to be involved in all this crazy Avengers stuff. I just want to be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. 5 minutes later, he goes and fights aliens and gets dusted and dies for 5 years and comes back and fights Thanos and then goes to Europe and then fights Mysterio, and then now the world knows his identity. Like, I'm sorry, I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I like the MCU,
done the right stories,
but they haven't done the right thing with this.
And I feel like that's
version
also
of
an
Spider-Man.
issue with Spider-Man, with the new Spider-Man movies in general. I don't think that Tom Holland's bad at being Spider-Man. I think he could be a great Spider-Man. It's just that they haven't given him the opportunity because he's not able to do what he needs to do and just be Spider-Man. It's just like every other Spider-Man movie. Why are those so great? It's because a lot of people love a lot of the human elements from them, all the Spider-Man moments where Spider-Man is just being Spider-Man. But in this, he can't just be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He has to be basically Ironheart, you know? Well, not Ironheart, but he's got to be
Iron
he's
Man,
gotta be
Iron Boy Jr.
yeah, basically, you know, and he's got to try to work up to live to be Iron Man. It's just like, I think the whole point is you don't have to work up to be Iron Man. You just have to be Spider-Man, dude. Just like be Spider-Man. That's all I want. I just want Spider-Man. You know, it's cool to have him in this universe, but it's just like if all he's doing is just working with some of these high people in the universe, it's just like, okay, can I just like have again Spider-Man? You know, he doesn't have to be with everybody else. He can just be Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess here, so we don't have to talk about this forever because we could literally go on forever. We're already at over an hour and a half. But like, bottom line here, I'm beyond excited for all the Star Wars stuff. I'm excited for the Marvel stuff if it's done right. I think there are a lot of good ideas. I think that we're in for a lot of fun stuff over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years with Marvel and Star Wars. Disney has a plan. They want to release a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of stuff on the slate. And we're going to get probably a good majority of this stuff. Probably 60 to 75% of what has been announced. We'll probably see it in the next 5 years. There's going to be some stuff that doesn't happen, like it is with anything. There will be some shows that are just swept under the rug, never mentioned again. And that'll be that. But then there'll also be things that come out that, you know, add to the universe. Like the other thing that we didn't talk about, and we kind of didn't really make a big deal about it, but it is a huge deal. They're bringing Fantastic Four back. They're taking another jab at that. What if that's not good? Again, what if they just can't make Fantastic Four work?
What if at this point, what if Marvel just takes a massive dip? That would be kind of crazy. But
I hope not. I hope not.
Again, all this stuff is just we will have to see where it goes. But
yeah,
I hope that all this stuff is great. But I just also hope that at the same exact time, I hope that they realize, and it looks like they are, that things don't have to be all connected, and that they can just do some stuff. They can just do whatever stories they want to do.
Yeah, for sure. And again, I hope that this didn't seem like this was another. I keep saying that and
hate whatever group
hate on Marvel. No, it's not. We love all of it. We're passionate about it and we want it to be good. That's the bottom line here.
We give the hate because we want it to be good.
It's constructive criticism.
Exactly.
We are so harsh on it because we love it. You know.
But and Crusader, you got anything on this?
Yeah, I know you're not the biggest in all of this, but.
Not really. I'm just stoked to see more films being created on and all that. Just hopefully it's not overkill, but it's good to see that they're actually like making and filming all these for all the fans to get hyped up for it.
Yeah, for sure. But that's pretty much it for the Disney Investor Day stuff. Final thing here. Let's get your thoughts on Cyberpunk. I know you're almost done with it.
I actually think that I will do that next week when I actually have completed it, because I'm literally on like the last mission.
Okay.
Like as we're speaking, like I'm not playing it right now, but I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no, you've been playing all stream.
Yeah, I've been playing all stream, guys. I could finish the game in the whole stream now, but I've been playing a good bit. I've been doing a whole bunch of side missions and stuff, just trying to get ready for the ending of the game, which I'm at right now.
So, what's your guys' thoughts on season 1 of Cold War that's coming on Wednesday?
Oh yeah, I forgot that's even coming out. It looks kind
of interesting, but I don't know. I feel like COD's gonna die.
It's gonna be a war zone.
Oh really? Oh yeah. I could not care less about Warzone. I'm sorry. I don't. It's not.
Warzone is fun.
It's not my thing.
I don't know. I think Rebirth Island's going to be an interesting place to have.
It should be interesting. I'll maybe play it like
they need that
once
zombie
or
map.
twice.
Bring the second zombie
map.
Yeah,
I know. It's like I need more. I need more zombies content, like Intel, and a Christmas game mode where the Plague Hounds have reindeer antlers.
Oh yeah.
Megatons have Santa hats. and the zombies have like, I don't know, Christmas ornaments on them or something. Like that's not enough. Like I'll play it once or twice and like pick up some more intel. And I mean, I guess I can rank up in prestige more, but I hate the fact that they've capped me at, or they cap everybody at 3rd prestige level 100 right now.
Yeah. But
And
I mean, when
they'll open it back up. But like, I don't know. I'm not sure how much I'm going to play. Like, I'm excited for it, but I would be a lot more excited if there was more zombies content.
Yeah, and I feel like there's not really much in the battle pass for it to really matter. Like,
no.
Also, the other thing is, I know we love to play zombies, and it's like, we already know zombies is not going to get you much in the battle pass. It already doesn't get you much for weapon XP or normal XP
and then
anyway,
this is the thing too, is
you
like
grinded.
Right? I grinded so much. But like not nearly as much as a lot of other people. Like I only have Plague Diamond on my specials and my shotguns, and there's only 2 weapons per class, and some of those weapons don't even go up to like full on like 55 or whatever. I'm working on launchers now, but for me there's no incentive to get these things gold and diamond while I'm not earning any more character XP. But then also, like, what's the point? You know, is like I feel like I need to be you need to be rewarded more for playing. I feel like, you know, there needs to be more of an incentive there. And
I feel like they're just like, they should just go back in the day, like Black Ops 1 and 2, on how those games are like greatest things in the franchise, and they should look into that.
I don't think they're ever going to be
the multiplayer. The multiplayer sucks balls, and the zombies in the campaign.
But the other thing is about the multiplayer is now, like, all this, I mean, skill-based matchmaking. Oh my god.
Oh, did you see
I don't
Drifter
care if I'm
and
having to play against people that are really good or whatever. Okay, that's fine. That's whatever. But if I have to fight somebody that's a lower level, not as skilled as I am, and if they can hit me pretty well because they have better aim because they're a bad player, and if I have worse aim because I'm a good player, like you guys saw that pattern, right?
No, here, okay,
so
here's the misconception about that patent. That patent was actually for single player stuff. It's for PvE, not PvP. So that's like zombies type of stuff, like single player games. That's not a multiplayer thing. That's not implemented into any game. That's never going to be implemented into a game.
Why would they even have that in a PvE standpoint then?
I don't know. This is the thing. They get all of these patents on just ideas that they have, just so other people can't make them. You know, it's kind of like you think of a cool Twitter name, and you just go make the account so nobody else has it. Like you don't use it, but you just want the @ or something. You know?
I guess, yeah. I don't know, but still, the whole thing was skill-based matchmaking, and I think it was I know that it was a thing in Modern Warfare.
Yeah, well, here,
I don't know if it's still, but the thing is, it still is a question if it's still even in this game.
It is. Well, I was about to say, it is, I actually, before we streamed, when I was, just chilling beforehand, I was watching both Drifter and Exclusive Ace did like a super in-depth kind of testing data analysis experiment on skill-based matchmaking. They had their normal accounts, they had a low skill account, like a reverse boosted account, and then a pro player's account, and they just kind of did all this testing. Like, of course, skill-based matchmaking is a thing. It will match you based off of an arbitrary skill rating that you get from, it seems like, your last 5 to 10 games is what matters. Then they'll put you in a lobby based off of that. There's a super duper low skill protected bracket where basically the enemies will not shoot back at you. There is like, once you get out of that, then you have kind of like your average games that like you or I would play, that everybody's on the same skill level as you, or a little bit higher, so you're struggling almost in every game. And then if you're like a pro player that's got like a 1.5 to 3 KD or whatever, it's COD champs every day.
Yeah.
You know? So
But I mean, I'm
Agree.
talking about in Modern Warfare how, and this is like a big thing at the beginning of the game, like when the game was just first starting to come out, is, and you saw it too, is how sometimes, and there were full-on clips where people would just like shoot guys, literally shoot them center mass, and the guys just wouldn't get affected at all. And like sometimes it just wouldn't do any damage.
maybe it's just
And-
lag.
No, it wasn't lag. This was like, I remember people like Drifter, Prestigious Key, everybody was talking about it. And it was just kind of crazy. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's most definitely something in there that makes lesser players have an advantage over
Oh,
the
I don't think worse players have any advantage over better players.
well, no, but I mean, also the other thing is that it punishes you. The game, I don't know any game that punishes you for being good at the game besides Call of Duty.
Yeah, I do have a point with that.
Yeah,
Like
that's
like physically, like making your experience worse because you're good. So if you're good and if it makes you feel bad for being good, then what? Do they expect you to want to get better? Like at that point, it's just like, I'm just like, okay. Like like when I start getting put in those like, you know, COD champs matches, I'm just like, okay, I'm like basically I'm done for the day.
But I
you
mean,
know?
here's the other thing though too. Is it really skill-based match? Like, yes, skill-based matchmaking is a thing to an extent, right? But are people blowing it out of proportion? Because other
I mean,
games,
I don't even think that it's that. I just think that it's also just some ways how, and this is something that was also in Black Ops 4. I mean, it's not the same thing, but in like Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4, I don't remember which one. But a lot of times they would just put you in games with people that had like the DLC weapons. And it would be in a way to make you want to get the DLC weapons, making you think that the DLC weapons are great.
Oh yeah.
I definitely feel that there's something that Call of Duty is doing to make worse players better and to make better players worse. And I mean, I just feel it. Like, it's just, there can be no difference between a game or two. And then just instantaneously, you just aren't doing you just aren't doing well. And I know that so many people experience it.
Well, here,
It's
this
just
is
like,
well, that's because your skill
why?
rating is being constantly evaluated. That's why the match breaks up after every game.
Right,
is
but
it
I mean,
reevaluates
is the
your
system
skill.
even good? As in, like, no, but I'm saying as in, like, sometimes I can feel like I am literally playing exactly the same against, and it can be against the same people. I can stay in the same lobby and go up against the same people.
No, but the lobby breaks
And then
up
something
after
just
every.
changes.
No, the lobby breaks up after every match. Watch it when you're playing, even if you stay in
no,
the
but I
lobby
mean, not
itself.
even just that. But I'm saying that it just the players in the lobby might not even be good, and all of a sudden I'm just getting destroyed. I'm not trying to deny the fact that yes, you might get put up against the better players or something in your lobby, but I mean, I feel like there's no doubt about it that there's something that Call of Duty is doing. I mean, I'm not trying to say, oh, I shouldn't be bad at the game, but I'm saying that there's most definitely something that even players that are very good at the game experience, and I feel like there's something there that is going on with COD.
I don't know, because it's no different really than any other game. Like, okay, confession time. I'm playing Fortnite now because of Master Chief and Mando. So I went in here to play as those characters because, I'm a child and I spent money on them. But I'm going in here. I try to play solo. I'm getting destroyed.
I think that's just
every game. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm just bad. This is the thing. I'm just bad.
I've watched you play, and this is for the stream's record. You are a slow builder. You don't build ever. You're slow at building. You're no good. You weren't there back in season 4, like how I was. You weren't there. And then number 2, you just aren't. You don't got those quick reflexes. Because also you didn't play much of Modern Warfare either, and Modern Warfare is all about that. Also, I don't know. I'm just a
boomer.
A lot easier to play when you're. It's a lot easier when you're doing co-op.
Oh yeah, no,
it's because people play more dangerously because they know that if I get down, my teammate will just pick me up, right? Or something like that.
The point that I was trying to make though is just because you're getting destroyed in a game doesn't mean there's skill-based matchmaking. Because
I'm not saying that either, but I'm also just saying that
if there was skill-based matchmaking
go into
in
Warzone solos as well. Any game where there's solos, that's where all the cracked Like, oh, that's where Justin's at, okay? But that's where everybody that's cracked at the game is at. And everybody will say that no matter what BR it is, the solos is always where all the sweats play. And that's just facts. But I mean, I'm not trying to say that I'm not like bad at the game, but I mean, I'm not also trying to say that I'm not good at the game either. I'm good enough to the point where I should not be doing as bad as I do.
Right, but here, this is the thing: is I will agree with you on that. Is I've noticed, so going from Call of Duty to Fortnite, right? In Fortnite, I've noticed my lobbies are very consistent. Like, there will be players that basically don't shoot back at me, and there will be players that will like cross map, build an entire skyscraper and snipe me from the top of it before I can even land on the ground.
I think that's where the balance should come in.
And that's where the balance comes from.
If the game was more consistent with the players you're going up against, because also the other thing is you have to switch up play styles sometimes.
Right, and that's a good thing, is because these bad players, when I kill them, or players on my same skill level in this game, I'm like, oh, okay, I think I'm doing well. But when I get killed by somebody that, like I said, builds a skyscraper and kills me from the top of it, I'm like, wow, I need to get better at this game. In Call of Duty, when I'm just, I was playing Nuketown with Coker Project like a week or so ago, and we did well our first couple of matches. Played normally, like we would play Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, whatever.
Yeah.
But a couple games in, we just you couldn't get out of your spawn. Like, there was air support in the sky the entire time. You couldn't get more than 1 or 2 kills without dying. Like, you couldn't go on streaks or anything. And it was like that for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I mean, also, it's just like, I'm not trying to deny the fact that sometimes, yes, you would get in some lobbies in the older games, and you just get absolutely destroyed, but I mean, it's not like there's nothing you can do to get away from it. There's always something you can do. And that's the thing about when people are above your skill level and the game thinks that you're better than you really are. And it's just like, do I really have to switch up my playstyle to being a total sweat?
Oh yeah, no, well,
just to stay alive and just to do well. It's like, if I'm just trying to chill and like for some strange reason, if I just pop off, and then all of a sudden I'm having to play against pro players, that just kills a mood.
Well, here, I'll tell you this. As I noticed, I felt like, so we didn't really start playing Call of Duty online until like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3, in that era, right? And we were pretty bad when we first started. Yeah. Like, I somehow scraped by and got to Prestige Master in Black Ops 2, but I think I had like 11 days of playtime in that before I got to Prestige Master, which is not good at all, because I was terrible. I had like a 0.7 KD in that game. But over the years, like into Ghosts and Advanced Warfare, and then into Black Ops 3 and everything like that, I felt like I got better and better and better and better every year. And I was, like the next year I had like a 1 KD and then like a 1.2, and then like, I consistently got better. And then things like Black Ops 4, Modern Warfare 2019, that stuff rolled around, and it felt like and I feel like I'm worse than I was when I started. Yeah, I mean, sometimes
Modern Warfare I was like a little iffy about, and I felt like I was kind of good, I felt like I was kind of bad, but at the end of the day, now when I just play it, it's just like I have to be in a mood to kind of sweat. Like,
Cold War, I don't think I've gone on more than like a 10 gun streak in Cold War.
With what?
I don't think I've gone on more than like a 10 gun streak in Cold War. Like, I've gotten nuclears before. I got a DNA bomb in Advanced Warfare.
Like 7. Like, I think 7 kills is like my highest streak ever in the game.
Right, and it's like, but I'm not a good Call of Duty player. Like, I play for fun. Like, I'm not super competitive at COD. I'm not very good at it. Like, I literally play for ranking up and unlocking camos. I don't play for KD. I'm not that good.
What are we even talking about?
I don't even know. We've been rambling all night. Let's wrap things up. We'll say last 5 minutes. Crusader, you've been quiet for a little bit. What is your input on all this?
What do you think about everything that's been going on with COD?
I mean, with the new season coming up on Wednesday, season 1 and the Warzone and all that, I'm pretty sure what they're gonna do is basically like the Warzone, like they're gonna put in, it's gonna be just like Modern Warfare, but with a smaller map in a different environment, and it's gonna be free, like with the battle pass and all that. I'm pretty sure. Hopefully, I swear, I don't want to buy another battle pass because I already bought my freaking Fortnite battle pass that I still need to grind to get baby Grogu. But overall, like for Call of Duty has been around for like a while, probably like since like 1999 or like early 2000s.
Yeah,
something like that.
So
And
like
I think COD 2
Call
is the
of
first
Duty
one with
is
like
just, like,
multiplayer.
has been there, but there's been like those ups and downs, like Advanced Warfare, Infinity Warfare, Black Ops 4, and all that. But it's just gonna be there. But it's just like missing something. But they're still like researching and just like testing it out with these games and all that. No, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this year of content goes for Cold War, and it's going to be really telling of the way Treyarch handles things going forward, seeing how much people are ragging on skill-based matchmaking and the business practices with the battle passes and the COD points and all this stuff. It's going to be interesting to see if they stick to what they're doing and they think that what they're doing is the best for the community, or if they realize, hey, the community is right, we've strayed too far away from our roots. Maybe there's something they should do to change that. And that's, kind of all I'll say on that. I don't really know if there's much else we can do other than wait to see.
Yeah, that's always really what we gotta say. But seeing how Call of Duty is, I don't think they're gonna change. I think they're just gonna keep on trying to beg for our money.
Go with the flow.
We can't blame Treyarch though. It's Activision. It's a higher up thing. It's a publishing thing.
A higher power.
Well, think about it. Why else? Right. That's why Bungie. That's why Bungie.
Vondar, Dave Vondar.
Yeah, man.
No, but that's why.
On Vondar.
No, but that's why Bungie left their partnership with Activision, is because Activision going back to greedy companies.
Yeah. But I mean, literally, but we're just buying into it. Like every single time. Every time that we go ahead and we what have we done? You literally like drop. The whole world basically has dropped enough to basically
what did they make? They made like $5 billion. They made like $1 billion in a month off of microtransactions or something ridiculous like that.
It's the same thing that happened with Fortnite. No wonder they keep on asking
here's
for
the thing though, it is a trap. We know it's bad. Like
Cold War, biggest selling game of 2020. How long has that been out for?
Because Call of Duty always is the highest selling game of the year. It just is. But here's the thing, is we always fall into their trap, is no matter how many times we sit on here on stream, no matter how many times people make videos or post on social media, they're like, oh, microtransactions are bad, I don't like it, I don't like this monetization system, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Skill-based matchmaking, this, that, and the other. We buy the new game every single year. New Battle Pass comes out with new cosmetic stuff that looks cool, we buy it. What did we do? Like Halloween thing, we bought our Halloween characters. What did we do? What did I do when I haven't played Fortnite since it came out in like 2017? I saw Master Chief was on it. I've been waiting for Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite's not coming out until like fall of next year. I want my Halo fill. And I bought Master Chief.
Infinite.
and I bought Master Chief. And I bought the Battle Pass because it had Mando in it.
Ooh.
Like, I've fallen into their trap.
We are our own worst enemy.
We are our own worst enemy. We are the target. We are the target audience. We're the target audience. We keep buying into it. And it just, it's a vicious cycle.
This is them. This is my favorite line from Amazing Spider-Man, the video game. If you keep dishing it out, I'll keep taking it. And that's exactly what happens. We keep dishing it out to them. And they just keep on taking it.
Keep on giving them the money. It's literally like...
And of course they'll keep on giving us stuff.
Yeah, they literally rob us, and we thank them for it.
Yes, and we are our worst enemies because we tell them don't do all these microtransactions. What do we proceed to do? Buy the
microtransactions.
Why?
And
Why
then,
are we? Why are our minds like this?
And like, remember back in like, you know, Black Ops 3, it's like, oh, we don't like supply drops. Black market blackout. We're not gonna buy supply drops for this long, and then we buy them.
Man,
That's all.
Oh man, Call of Duty sucks right now. This game is so bad. We bought the best-selling game of the year.
we'll never know, man.
I don't know.
We see
We
something
play
that we
ourselves.
like. We see something we like. We get it. And then after a while, I was like, yeah, this was a mistake.
We are our own worst enemies. We
We
are
are
so
our own worst
man,
enemies.
we are so
You know,
gullible.
I just realized
We're
we've
horrible.
been on stream for 2 hours now.
I know. It's been 2
Which is
hours.
crazy.
We've just been
We had
rambling.
all these things. And
How many
all that.
views we still got? I don't know. They're probably
Dude,
sitting around.
this is
like, what are
ridiculous.
these
Like,
people doing?
I've felt myself get more and more tired and just rambly the entire night that
This
we've
is
been
like-
on
this
here.
is-
It's been
this is
2
the party
hours.
chat.
This is a
This is a
long time.
PlayStation party chat.
This
the
is
Xbox Live
no.
party
I'm
chat.
upset. I thought about making a cup of coffee before coming on the stream because I was like, I'm a little tired. I might need some coffee, and I didn't make any coffee, and I just have Powerade here. This is not helpful. This is replenishing my
all my
electrolytes, not, you know, not my energy levels. But for whatever reason,
We need
I've
to
had
finish
like this.
before we continue to
Yeah.
talk because I know I'm just gonna keep on talking.
Okay,
and
yeah,
people
no, I
don't wanna
know.
hear me.
Yeah,
No, I know.
feel like we should wrap it up.
Yeah. So we'll wrap things up here. We're at 2 hours. Whoever's left in the chat, whoever's left watching that you've watched live, thank you so much for watching the stream tonight. Thank you to everybody who came out in any capacity in the stream tonight. If you
You
are
guys gonna
watching
get that Cyberpunk 2077 review next
week. Yeah, so
Next week, final stream.
no, well then we've got Wonder Woman that comes out literally the week after.
We're just gonna do a different video on that.
I don't know. Well, to be determined. TBD. To be determined.
yeah.
To be determined. But yeah, next week is the Mando finale. So we'll be back here on stream talking about that as well. That one, if this one went 2 hours, I don't even know how long that's going to go. So
Hopefully not that long.
hopefully not that long. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched live, if you missed any of it, it will be available on the channel for playback as soon as it is done processing. If you've watched it on playback, thanks for watching it on playback, and just in general, thank you guys so much for watching another episode of the Legion Lounge Live. Let me know what you thought about it down there in the comments. And yeah, just thank you guys so much for coming out again tonight. But until next time, guys, it's been Tazz, Strike, and Crusader, and we will see you guys in the next live stream.